On the track, the sport of NASCAR is all about speed. Doing what you can to be the first to the finish line. But off the track, one team is preaching a new message: conservation.
It's important to have the feeling that when we put this thing together, this car together, that's got a purpose.
Jack Roush owns Roush-Fenway Racing. He gave us a tour of his shop in Concord, where 400 employees help build 100 race cars each year for 4 different Sprint Cup teams.
Of course, then we've got backups for backups that we move from the shop if we need to.
The cars are pushed to their limit in each race, but their use doesn't stop there. 96% of each race car is then recycled. The concept of being green is part of a culture change happening inside the race shop.
All of the material that we use, that we recycle, everybody that works on the race cars now thinks about that.
Ian Prince is Roush-Fenway's Chief Sustainability Officer, in charge of ongoing efforts to save and conserve. The team separates and recycles everything, from brake rotors to springs, even setting up separate bins for the 7 different kinds of plastic on a race car.
This one was off a damaged race car.
Each facet of the race team has seen some sort of change. The paint for each car is now water-based, free of dangerous chemicals.
The paint is definitely more friendly to the air and the atmosphere, and primarily to our employees.
The team provides bicycles so the employees can ride from building to building instead of drive. If they do need a vehicle, the team is hoping to expand its fleet of propane-powered trucks. Even the buildings themselves are becoming greener. The team's airplane hangar collects solar energy that's then turned into electricity. Prince says every bit of conservation is proof winning is possible, even beyond victory lane.
Yes, we might only be getting 5 miles per gallon on the racetrack, but there are many other things that we can be doing to offset the impact that we have within our industry.
In Concord, Alan Cavana, Channel 9 Sports.
Yeah, I think we got everything.
Sometimes starting over starts with goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Discharge papers.
76 days after the horrible accident on Sharon Amity Road that put him in a coma, Thomas Crane and his family walked out of the hospital.
They going home. And I'm really excited to go home.
It would be easy to call this a miracle, but there were really so many miracles. First, simply surviving the impact of that collision. And then his first steps and his first words.
That was a big day, and he, just started reading the cards on his wall. He just started looking around the room and reading.
Since then, we just haven't ever given up that he would walk out of that hospital.
And finally today, the miracle of home.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too, Kitty.
I'm glad you're home.
I'm glad to be home too.
Suddenly, the accident is almost forgotten. The past 2.5 months seem far away.
It's like I was kind of in this fog in my brain.
Thomas still has a long way to go, but this is a new start, a chance for many more miracles.
When people came and saw me in the ICU or in therapy, I actually told them I was too stubborn to die.
He's just made really a remarkable recovery, straight down the line from the very beginning.
I know that all those people that have been praying for him since day 1 are going to be praying for him on day 101 and 201. Mm-hmm. So we're going to just get through it.
In South Charlotte, Mark Becker, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Every weekend, for the thousands of race fans who race to the track, this is how they see it.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
But getting all this on TV isn't so black and white. The crew from ABC is here in Charlotte this week, broadcasting the Bank of America 500 to the rest of the country.
10, 9.
The long line of semis rolled in early Monday, 20 of them. They end up here. From above, you can see why they call this the media compound, just for ABC.
By painting all these trucks.
Jamie Shifton runs the show.
This is where the chaos, the controlled chaos happens.
He's the executive producer.
Here you can continue to record.
He showed us how each race weekend requires more work than any other sporting event, including the Super Bowl.
Twice as many people, twice as many cameras on this racetrack than there is at any event that you're ever going to go to.
The volume of production cables alone is impressive. At a track like Lowe's Motor Speedway, the crew uses 17 miles of TV cable. They also use all high-definition cameras. Most of them follow the cars. But there are other cameras, like this one that's on the wall. Another actually on the racetrack. In all, the network uses up to 75 cameras at the Speedway, and all of them are used to cover the race. And some of these cameras are located right here on the roof of the Speedway. But there are also many other cameras located all around this racetrack, some of them down at track level, and you can hardly see those. Every week, Kyle Pierce maneuvers his way inside the cars, putting in tiny cameras. On race day, as many as 14 cars have the cameras. This is how you see it at home on TV.
The biggest thing, Rusty, is just the fact that it's 400 laps.
How many cameras are you putting on this actual car here? This car today is getting 3.
One camera's on the roof of the car, another shows the driver, and a third here on the back bumper. That's the one that gets damaged the most when the cars crash.
Boyer looking back at the 37 car.
When they go upside down, then it's gone.
But the latest in covering NASCAR comes from how you hear it.
I hear you there. Let's go to 2. All right.
For the first time, ABC is able to provide surround sound from the inside of the race car. They use about 100 microphones for just one race.
What we're trying to do is give the fan on the couch the experience that they're almost at the racetrack. The only way you can do that is with audio.
Watching the races on ABC, you'll see Andy Petrie, a former crew chief for Dale Earnhardt. Now he's doing this.
This track is so treacherous.
It's his first year.
So much, and there's nowhere to go if you have trouble. I've got these earphones. You know, we've got one in each ear, and then we've got a microphone. And in one ear, we've always got a producer in there, and he's telling us what to say. We're going to commercial. We're doing this, and it's happening in 5, and it's doing all these things.
All it takes is just a split second.
And you got to keep talking while this guy's talking. If you get in trouble, somebody else can spin in front of you. You don't hear that. Hey, Bob, Andy Petrie up here in the booth. You got a copy?
You ever get nervous?
Yeah.
When?
Well, just right before the cameras come on, they go,
Really?
okay, we're going like, well, you still get, it's not really, the first few times I got really nervous. But now, we've done so many shows, it's like, okay.
And after the race at Lowe's gets the checkered flag, all this is packed up and the crew races on to Martinsville, Virginia to do this all again next week.